If you're a subcontractor and you're sick and tired of getting the runaround from the GCs you're working with, in this video we're going to talk about how you, the subcontractor, can help your GC that you're working for become more efficient. Hi, I'm Jerry Aliberti, owner of Pro-Accel. Guys, before I get going with this video, I would love it if you drop back to a lot of my other videos. At this point, I've probably made well over 100 videos. Please subscribe to my channel, comment, like on any of the videos. I really appreciate that. It'll help me with my own video content as well and push it out to other contractors. So let's get going. How can you, the subcontractor, help your GC that you're working for be a better planner, a better communicator, ultimately resulting in you have higher productions on your projects? First is scheduling, right? A good GC is going to provide you with a baseline schedule and updated schedules every single month. The larger GCs, what they're doing is they're implementing pull planning, which is a major lean construction practice. So if you're a part of a pull planning session, beautiful. That's great. You're able to give your take every single month. Chances are you're not part of that, right? So one, you need to be getting monthly schedules from your GC. But there's a second part to this. You need to be putting together your own schedules. I love my 2-week and my 4-week look-ahead schedules. You need to pay attention to your own 2-week and look-ahead schedules. You need to understand the contractors, the subs that are in before you and after you. And also, how does that correlate with the GC schedule? And understand and identify inefficiencies. So what you're able to do at this point is you're able to bring these inefficiencies to the GC and help educate the PM and the the super. You guys got to understand something. The world of self-performed GCs is kind of past tense at this point. I always worked for self-performed GCs in New York City. And now that I talk to contractors around the entire country, a lot of them don't even know of any self-performed GCs no more. So with that being said, a lot of the PMs and the supers who are working for these self-performed GCs don't really understand your niche. They don't understand your trade. They need to be educated on what the steps are. So educate them. I can guarantee you this, by doing that, you're going to be increasing the relationship you have with the PM and the super as well. And guess what happens when that happens? The next project, they're going to pitch to have you a part of that project, even if your price is not low. Because now you have that relationship. You're educating the PM, the super, it's making them look good. And obviously it's pushing the schedule and it's making you look good as well. So what's the next step? The next step is pre-task planning. Right? So you're about to get started on a major task. You need to assemble your own meeting with the GC and go back to what I just said before. Educate them on how your job is going to play out the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, month, the next 2-3 months. Let them understand the trades that are going to come in before you and after you and what they need to have done. Take it a step further and actually provide a process or a schedule and include the trades that have to come in before you and after you, and pinpoint where the major holdups are typically on projects. By this point, you're a competent tradesperson, and obviously you know your trade better than anybody else, so you know what the holdups are going to be. Next is provide solutions. Okay, so now you're getting going with the project. Don't just call up the GC and say, hey, I have a problem. How you want me to solve it? You're the pro. You're the pro of that niche. Call up the GC, let them know what the problems are, solve the problem for them. Give them 2 to 3 options, because I know what's going to happen. Okay, I'll get back to you. Guess what's going to happen after that? They don't get back to you. You go on with your day and you forget about it. And then next thing you know, 2-3 days go by, you're driving to work. Oh man, I called up Joe a few days ago. He never got back to me. Provide solutions to your problems and try to get an answer right there and then. Or if they need to go to their supervisor, at least they have the solutions. Again, this goes back to the first thing I said. It makes them look even better. right? So now they look even better, and it just it promotes a positive work culture and within that specific project. Next is right size crew. So now we're getting into your own internal productions. I can't tell you how many times I speak to subcontractors who know that they're going to have the predecessor trades, who are the trades that come in before you, and the successor trades, the trades that come in after you, where you need to correlate and you need to kind of hopscotch where your crew with them. So you need to understand that you have to have the right size crew. Like everybody says, you got to hit the ground running. Listen, don't start your crews with 10 people right out of the door. Start with a couple of people, a couple of employees, and start working your way towards the 10 employee crew. Don't just start guns blazing. So many contractors lose so much money because they think that what the GC told them a month ago is actually gonna happen on the project. It's not. I can guarantee you 90% of the time it's not. Start off with a smaller crew, get the crew, and gang up the crew as you're going. Because once you gang up the crew, it becomes a lot harder to pull crew. It becomes a lot harder to manage and pull crew members off. Next is be a part of the morning huddles. A good GC is going to have a morning huddle. When I ran my own jobs, I used to tell the subs to be a part of my morning huddles. Many times the subs didn't show up, and it would get me upset when they would call me up an hour after we started the shift with problems that they had with another subcontractor. And I would say, well, you should have been a part of the morning huddle. So be a good contractor, be a part of the morning huddle that your GC should be having. If your GC is not having it, you should bring it up to them and let them know that they need to have a 15-minute morning huddle, because a lot of gold comes out of that morning huddle. Next is communicate with other subs directly. Now, I know that this might be a little bit of a gray area. You don't want to step on the toes of the GC. But again, the GC is real busy, probably dealing with 15, 20, maybe sometimes more subcontractors. I doubt more, but on large jobs, there are a lot more subcontractors. So why don't you go up to the predecessor and the successor trades that come in before and after you and talk to them directly of what you need for them to keep going, or show that you care and say, hey, I'm over here today. What do you need from me to keep your schedule going? Because sometimes you may need to drop back and fall behind them and close up a wall panel, whatever it may be. So if you're helping out the trades that are before you and after you, it's going to help out your production as well. So be proactive, not be reactive. Next, this should have been my number one, but I'm going to leave it at the last because it is probably one of the most important. These last two that I'm about to say is cost tracking. You need to be tracking your own costs on a weekly basis. You need to have real-time data that's going to show what crew size you really need to have for the following week. You need to break down your bids properly, which I have other videos about that you're able to bring that labor cost to the field, be able to translate that estimate to the field properly. Your field crew need to be trained on what items need to be tracked. It's going to be all items, but you need to give them a little bit of training, because I'll tell you right now, they're going to fudge the numbers if you don't. And then it's going to mess everything up and it's going to cause you to have bad decisions. So you need to track your, at a minimum, labor costs on a per week basis, which tells the story of your job. And on a per week basis, you need to have meetings with your crew, and you need to know what numbers are over budget, what numbers are under budget, and fix whatever's over budget right there for the following week. It's real-time data. It allows you to make great decisions by tracking your costs properly on a per week basis. Next, and this goes into kind of all of them, the cost tracking, the scheduling, the communication, is change orders, right? Be smart with your change orders. You need to have a process with change orders. Change orders normally come in two forms. One, holy crap, we need to get this done today. Start keeping your T&M sheets, your time and your material sheets today, and get going with it, right? And then there's the, hey, in a couple of weeks from now, we're changing gears a little bit. This is gonna be a change order outside of your scope. Can you give us a price? Which will probably go to your estimators to come up with a price. So have a process in line for those two scenarios, And make sure that if it's the first scenario where it's a per day T&M statement, a T&M cost tracking tool, the GC is signing off on that every single day. I heard not too long ago that GCs have protocols where they don't sign off on change orders. You know what? Refuse to do the change order if that's going to be their protocol. But understand that that's their protocol before you even sign the subcontract. That is ridiculous if a GC is not going to sign off on a change order that they are directing you to do. Which brings up another point. And I'm not going to hit this too hard because I have other videos on change orders. You need to get it in writing that you're being directed to do a change order. So you need to first have it in writing. You need to get those T&M statements signed every single day. If they refuse to sign, then stop doing the change order. Tell them to hire somebody else. They know that hiring somebody else is going to be a lot more expensive. Okay, so be smart with it. So guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. Again, if you like this video, please like it, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.